Hey YouTube, Kira Twig here, bringing you guys my Cyberse Yu-Gi-Oh deck profile for post Powercode Link structure deck. I wanted to bring you guys this deck profile for quite some time now. I've been very excited about this structure deck that just got released. It gave us a whole new slew of Cyberse support for the deck. The starter deck that came out that gave us Transcode Talker did give us some cool Cyberse ones, but this one really adds on more to the whole Cyber mechanic in general and just a whole different playstyle you can add on to the Cyberse deck to better, all your different link plays that you can do with it. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started with the deck profile. So to start off, for the monsters, I run 3 of the new Lady Debug. This card is really good for the deck. Its effect is when it is normal or special summoned, you can add 1 level 3 or lower Cyberse monster from your deck to your hand. You can only use the effect of Lady Debug once per turn, but the fact that it means that you can get it when it's normal or special summoned means that you have plenty of options just to search out cards with this card from your deck and add them to your hand. With a 1700, 1400 attack and defense stat as well, it's a pretty powerful monster on its own. But most of the time I like to search out for backup Secretary, because then when you have this card to your hand, it's just another easy special summon that you can get off. Plus, comboing this card with ones like Balancer Lord or anything else that just ensues another normal summon just means that you can get off her effect, because I like that she's not limited by only being able to be normal summoned for that search. So even late game, if you Monster Reborn her, you can still be searching Cyberse cards that you can use later on. So she just keeps that hand consistency after you commit so many of your cards to your link summon plays. So definitely a good addition to the deck. Same with Cyberse Gadget. I was debating on how many of this card I wanted to run, but I decided to go with 3, just because I liked it with the testing. When it is normal summon, you can target 1 level 2 or lower monster in your graveyard, special summon it in defense, but its effects are negated. If this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can special summon 1 Gadget token, and you can only use the effect of Cyberse Gadget once per turn. So the fact that you can revive cards with this from the graveyard means that it's great late game for plays just by special summoning those cards back. But even if you just use it for a link summon, like let's say you have your other monsters on the field and nothing to revive with this card, you'll still get that token, so you can have some bigger link plays on the way afterwards. After you maybe make your link 2 monster with this card and you want to go for a 3, you have that option available to you with that token it grants you. And still for the oldies that I run, 3 Balancer Lords. Still love this card in the deck for the special summon mechanic. Once per turn, you can pay 1,000 during the main phase. This turn, you can normal summon 1 Cyberse monster in addition to your normal summon. You can only use the effect once per turn. If this card is banished, you can special summon 1 level 4 or lower monster from your hand, and you can only use the effect of Balancer Lord once per turn. But what I love about the special summon from the hand is now we have the new Lady Debug monster to special summon with this card, meaning you can get her search effect off if you banish this with, let's say, your Signet backdoor, and then just like I said, get that special summon off. Or if it's banished by any other method, you still have that option to keep Lady Debug in your hand with knowledge of knowing you'll get that search off of the special summon from her as well. So key cards to work around with this now that definitely do help, and that extra normal summon just helps with a lot of different plays. Like I said, if you wanted to summon this, then get out Lady Debug, search out backup Secretary, and then you have your link 3 play right there to go for. And I still run 3 Prompt Thorn. I still run this over Drag Connect, just because this card helps with so many more special summons. I took Drag Connect out of the deck just because it gave you the 1 normal monster. We have plenty of search and special summon now with the new cards, but Prompt Thorn still gives us like other options. Like let's say we have Lady Debug or Cyberse Gadget on the field. The higher levels with Prompt Thorn can just help to get out the normal monsters to the field that we can make use of for link summoning, since a lot of the Cyberse monsters in the extra deck do require, just Cyberse monsters, not effect monsters that you can go for, with the many ones that you can special out using Prompt Thorn's effect. And then for the normal monsters, I run 2 Digitron and 2 Protron, same as the other deck profiles. I just found this to be the best number for the ratio for the normal monsters you want to go for. If you open up, let's say the Protron, you could still make the Link Spider or the Link Karibo plays, and still have options to special summon the Digitron, and with some other cards as well for the combos. And plus you could special summon from the deck and or graveyard, so if you already used these cards for early plays, you can still search them off of the Prompt Thorn, which is pretty good. And I also run 2 backup secretaries. I only run 2 now because she is more searchable with Lady Debug. So, and plus the fact that you can only special summon her once per turn this way, meaning you open up one and then search one off the Lady Debug. You can't special summon the one from your hand and the one you add. So better just to search it off of that card and then get the summon off that way. And you just have more options available to you. What cards you could have drew in your hand if you limit the times you can open up with it in your hand instead of just searching for it. Plus, I still run 2 Widget Kid. Still like this card for that easy special summon of a Cyberse monster. Going back to still one of my favorite cards in the deck. Like I said, her search will still work with this card, so pay that in mind. Works just like Balancer Lore, except this one, is the not having to pay 1,000, but Balancer Lore is still a normal summon. But this one still gives you that option to summon out that monster. But Balancer Lord has that special summon play, but not needless to say, you could still work Balancer Lord with Widget Kid for the plays as well, which is what I like about the deck. All the cards work together just to go for the bigger picture of what the deck is meant to be, and that is link summoning. And I run 2 Boot Staggered, still easy special summons when it's one is normal summon, and when it inflicts the battle damage, you get the token for the special, which, getting plenty of monsters out on the field is a very important part of, what the Cyberse deck is meant to do. And then getting on to the one-ofs of the deck, I run 1 Stack Reviver, just one of this card because it's a once per duel effect. If it's used as a material for a link summon, you can target one other level 4 or lower Cyberse monster in your graveyard that was used as material for that link summon, special summon it in defense. You can only use the effect of Stack Reviver once per turn. So good to make use of other resources in your graveyard, whether they have like other monster effects you can use or, just a better one to have on the field. Great for the early game link summon for sure with this card. Same goes for the Dotscaper, the one of as well. If it's sent to the graveyard, you can special summon it. So if you use it for Link Karibo, you can just special summon it back out, then go for a bigger play. You can only use each effect of Dotscaper once per turn. It also has the Banish effect for the special summon, so make use of both those effects when you can with this card. And I also run 1 Ram Cloudia and 1 Ram Clouder. More searchable options. Ram Clouder allows you to tribute to special summon a Cyberse monster in your graveyard. It doesn't have to be an effect monster. You can even go for the link monsters with this card. So remember that when you have this late game. I love it late game, especially if I went for like a link 4 monster. I tribute it, get it out, and then I have something better, obviously, than the Ram Clouder to use. And Ram Cloudia, if you have it late game as well, you can normal summon it, add backup secretary from your graveyard to your hand, and then special summon it that way for more link plays to go off of. And I'm also trying 1 C Archiver. I tried and debated what I wanted to run in the deck of all the new link cards: Flame Buffalo, Garbage Collector, Antalion, and Storm Cipher. They all had very good effects, which, you can try swapping back and forth between C Archiver and some of the other one-ofs in the deck, but I felt like a lot of them just were kind of too specific of, effects to get off, or too situational. Like maybe Flame Buffalo would be a potential candidate to come back into the deck just for the draw power that it adds with your link summons, but some of the other ones, like I said, were more just stall or recycle effects that didn't really play too much as what you wanted to do with the deck as a whole. But Seek Archiver, it has that great special summon from the graveyard. If a monster is normal or special summon to a zone a link monster points to, except during the damage step, you can special summon this card from your graveyard. If it was there, the summon resolved or hand, even if not, but banish it when it leaves the field. So you have that extra special summon from the graveyard with this card, which I wanted to try out. Plus, it's got the 2100 defense, so plays a pretty good defensive wall as well if you need it. And then lastly, for the monsters, just the 1 D-grade buster. If you wanted to try and take this out, I like it for how much you do use your monsters for your link summons. You stack up the graveyard pretty well, meaning it's an easy special summon of a 2500 attack point monster that can banish other monsters your opponent controls. So, but like I said, if you didn't want to run D-grade buster, you can try any of the other cards from the structure deck out in this deck, as well as I said, any of the other one-ofs. You could try swapping out and see what works best for you as well. That is it for the monsters of the main deck. I don't run the rituals in this deck. I kind of feel like that's its own deck, which I might, work on with the new support that we received, a ritual-based version of the deck. But for the pure link, I just stuck to all the monsters for this deck profile. But moving on to the spells, still 3 Sign Out Backdoor. This card definitely helps just with your search and direct attack power that it can provide. It's a quick play, so you can set it and then use it on your opponent's turn as well. Works good with the Balancer Lord also for those effects, but the Search is what I love the most about this card, just because you add a Cyberse monster that if you know you need it for a play coming up, it definitely does come in handy there. And I also run 2 Signet Storm. Now this card, I actually really enjoy it better than some of the other field spells that we receive for the deck. With this one, all Link monsters on the field gain 500 attack and defense, and Link summons of Link monsters cannot be negated. And once per chain, if you take 2,000 or more battle damage or effect damage, you can shuffle the face-down cards in your extra deck, excavate the top card, and if it is a Cyberse Link monster, special summon it, otherwise return it to the extra deck. Now, I run all Cyberse Link monsters in this Cyberse deck profile, meaning that you're going to guarantee get that special summon off, which I think is a lot of fun to have a special summon go off that way. Thought about 3 of this card in this deck, but sometimes, it just gets too cloggy, and then you end up not being able to get the monsters you want out for your plays. Obviously, that will not be negated, but, still that damage if your opponent's willing to take it and they know what this card does. They're risking big if you end up getting a, powerful Link monster off that shuffle. And I also run 2 World Legacy Succession, just an easy special summon from the graveyard still. Ran it in the last deck profile, just to zone a Link monster points to, which is very easy in this deck since you almost always will have a Link monster out on the field, and then you can just recycle monsters from your graveyard for bigger plays. And I still run the 2 Unexpected Die. I really like this card, especially with Cyberse Gadget, because if I go for, let's say, one of my normal monsters, use it for a Link, and then have Cyberse Gadget out, I can then, special summon back that monster to the field to reuse with Cyberse Gadget. And then Monster Reborn and Soul Charge, both of these cards are just very helpful for your special summon plays. You don't really use life points for too much besides Balancer Lord, so the Soul Charge always comes in handy. Same with the Monster Reborn, even getting back some of your Link monsters to reuse for plays. And then for the 1 trap in the deck, I'm trying out 1 Packet Link. This new trap, during your main phase 2, special summon any number at level 2 or lower monsters with different names from your hand, deck, and or graveyard to your zones Link monsters. Point 2, you can only activate 1 Packet Link per turn. This is kind of like, I believe, the Link turret for the Cyberse deck specifically, just because if you have plenty of arrows to work with, you can get plenty of monsters out to the field to use for even bigger plays. I think it also definitely helps if you're going to try and achieve the extra Link. The biggest thing I like with this, what's fun, is you can just try and get out as many of the code talkers as you want with all 5 available now. It's definitely possible if you work hard enough with this deck to get all 5 out on the field, which is very fun to do and very scary for your opponent. But that is it for the main deck. We'll now move on to the extra for the new monster. I run 1 Powercode Talker. It requires 3 monsters, which I find interesting. It doesn't have any specifics, so you can even use the normal monsters to make this card. And its effect is once per turn you can target 1 face-up monster on the field, negate that target's effects until the end of this turn. And once per turn, if this card battles an opponent's monster during damage calculation, you can tribute 1 monster this card points to. This card's attack becomes double its original attack during damage calc only, making a 4,600 attack, which is quite impressive. I also am, I do like his arrows as well, whether it be in the extra monster zone, you have that 1 arrow that can help for the, continuing the Link, or just if you have it summoned with Transcode Talker, you have more arrows to work with as well than some of the other Code Talkers if they were to be summoned in the main monster zone. But I also still run 2 Transcode Talker. This one just being able to recycle your Cyberse Link monsters with special summons, and then boosting up co-link ones and protecting the co-link ones makes it a definite 2 of in the deck. You could just, use your other Code Talkers to make it, and then special summon them back for, easier plays. And I also run 1 Decode Talker, the first Code Talker we ever got, and still good power plays, effect negations with the monster arrows, and Encode Talker, same with damage calc boosts. And what I love is all the Code Talkers have different arrows to work with as well, so meaning you can basically, depending on what setup you want to go for, have definite options to go with as well. And then 1 Xcode Talker helps to limit your opponent's monster zones, and then more power as well. It's all about what you want to combo with Transcode as well at the moment, and this definitely does help with how the arrows point. And then for the other Cyberse monsters I run 1 Link Karibo. Very easy to make with the level 1 monsters we run in the deck, and then just easy to special summon back when you have other level 1s. Also, 1 Link Spider for your normal monsters, and 1 Link Disciple for draw power. If you don't want to run Link Disciple, you can try out 1 more Link Spider, just because we run plenty of normal monsters in the deck as well. I do like it for the draw. Sometimes it just helps grab you a card that you would have preferred more than the ones you have in your hand. Plus 1 Underclock Taker, good effect power plays. 1 Honeybot, this over Proxy Dragon, since all we run are Cyberse monsters, so easy arrows to make. 4 Link 2s. Same goes for 1 Land Fornerinicus, or if I butchered that name, I do apologize. It is a very generic Link 2 to make, so if you have the options available to you to make it and you have it in the extra monster zone, it just opens up more your arrow plays than Honeybot would, but if Honeybot is in your main monster zone, then you have, those arrows to go for. So I just like the options available to you on what you want to make. Same goes for the Pentastag, 1 for the Link 2, and 1 Trigate Wizard for the Link 3 monster. Most of your big plays in this deck will be the Code Talker monsters, so these are all just kind of backup to work with them. And the last monster is 1 Topologic Bomber Dragon. If you want to put Firewall in here, that's fine. I just kind of took it off of the list because I'm unsure what's going to happen with it with the upcoming ban lists, if it's going to be hit. That's what a lot of people are saying. But if you wanted to keep just, like a big Link 4 Cyberse monster in this zone, just for some more power plays, this is a definite good backup for sure instead of Firewall. But yeah, that is it for the deck profile. I hope you all enjoyed the video. Once again, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. And until next time, Kira Twig out.